this bas mitzvah and make a big deal out of it. So anyway, let's go over here to the Zohar, and I'm trying to see if I could read. I have this screen now. I'm projecting onto my screen and recording this now. So it doesn't see me. It only sees the page. The problem is that there's a glare problem if I have too much light. Anyway, gesundheit. Okay, so I'm trying to read off the screen, and I haven't done that before. So let me get started and see how I could do it. If not, I'll just have to look as best I can. So it says we're on page Tov Kuf Ayin Bet. V'ama od besod tikun hashalom shel Adam Alyon. Who is the Adam Alyon? Shehu Zair Anpin. Now, as I said, I think the last time that this word Adam has been pushed around a little bit. It's okay. He said v'Adam ku tikunu v'Adam ha'Elyon shehu Zair Anpin. Hu tikunu malvush de'erik Anpin. So now he puts the two words together, malvush and tikun. So you see that this is a filter for the light of Erik Anpin. Ki teferes v'netza hod yisod de'erik Anpin, which is Zat, I guess. He'll meluvash b'pinimius Zair Anpin is inside of Zair Anpin. And that inside of this, koim rucha, there is some kind of a spirit there. I thought he was going to say differently, but he says inside of Zair Anpin spreads the panemius of Zair Anpin, hanikra ruach. So he says now, it's interesting because I'm trying to get the definition of this word ruach. So he says the nature of the, I think the definition would be the nature of the ruach, of the interior of the panemius of Zair Anpin is called ruach. Shu sod shem ma, which is the secret of this name ma. Besok zera beruach hapanimim beluvashim teferes netzachod yisod de'erik Anpin. And inside of this ruach, he says, the panimi to that is the zat of Erik Anpin. So this is the meaning of the Zech Shekasav ki ha'adam yira le'einayim v'Hashem yira le'levav. So Hashem appears to the eyes, and Hashem appears in the heart, and he's got the word levav. So he says, "Pirush Adam, who's the Adam? Shuchu bebechidas akelim v'haguf shel Zair Anpin." So here we're talking about I guess that's what he said. He says the kelim, which are the goof of the make up the goof of Zair Anpin. Huba bechinas chitzonius. It's a concept of chitzonius hanira le'anayim. So it's some outside of area that you can look at, you can see it. Then, in other words, it's the body. It's the kelim that are holding something in it. But then the name Yudke Vavke, Shuhu Sod Shem Ma, which is really the basis of the name Ma. Hu bebechinas haruach amispashid amislavish bepenimius Zair Anpin, which is this ruach that is spreading in the inside of Zair Anpin, which is hanikra lev, which is called the heart. Okay, so we have this metaphor here is the heart. So we're working on the heart. Just let me look back over this. Okay, he says, and you have this ruach. The ruach is called the heart. Let's go, hanikra, heart. So he said, "Gedugmas haruach hashara belev." Just for example, there's actually air inside of the heart. Possible lashon leva, but the passion that has a double baits here. Umashbech lev besoch leg, then it's mashbech. It's a panemius to this leg that has this ruach within it. So a tam deihu bilgo lugo. So this idea, one is inside the next. They're inside of each other. The v sheesh bezer anpin panemius. Yes, a panemius besok panemius. So in other words, the panemius, which he said was the ruach, has a panemius inside of that panemius. Ki besok panemius zer anpin hanikra lev miluvashing teferes netzachod yisod de'erik Anpin. So there's really something, a live wire in there. Shehem gam kain bibechi the panemius, which is also an aspect of panemius. But it's panemius of panemius. Hanikra lev, the lev is the panemius, and the panemius of that, v'nimsa shuhu lev b'soch lev, one inside the next. V'zehu hanikra b'pasuk levov. That's why it says that in the pasuk. So going over here, and we're on page Tov Ayin Daled, he says behind Tikkun de Adam. So he says, and this Tikkun de Adam. So what is the Tikkun de Adam? So he says, Ubezecha the Tikkun shel Adam Alyon, Shehu Zair Anpin. So let's talk about this. Sheyesh behu panimius besod ruach shehu shem ma. So going back over that idea again. He wants to fix in our mind that the panemius of air, it's because ruach is like air. So besod ruach shuhu shem ma asher bo beluvish teferes v'netzach hod yisod the Zair Anpin. So you have this tani of Zair Anpin is inside of Zair Anpin is chazish lemusach b'chamanus the kula. So he says, so it's a nearest, so they have this appearance now. You can see the shlemus of Zair Anpin. When you see it lined up like this with the zata of Zair Anpin inside of Zair Anpin, the fishim is lavshim bo kol partsufi atzilus el yonim. Because here's what he wants to say. He says all the partsufim that are up above, meaning what's inside of Zair Anpin and everything else, are going into Zair Anpin. Now, so I'm really interested in this phrase, again, because it has this word amona. So he's making it sound like, I don't know, like it's a substance that you can actually, I'm not sure exactly how I understand it. Okay, the faith in God is the matchup of this Zair Anpin inside of Zair Anpin, bringing everything into Zair Anpin is the basis of our faith. Now he says that's what things he made of the Jewish people. The Koyim al Kursi of Oz Omid Zair Anpin, V'yosh al Kisei. So when that situation is happening, is that Zair Anpin is on its throne. It was this pasuk over here. He said the Mulsk Mare Adam. So talk about the vision of Yecheskel. He said the Mulsk Mare Adam. So it's it's an image, but like the vision of a man, a man all of it. That's the image of a man of Malamal up above it. Pirusha Zair Anpin Yoshev al Kisei Kadugmas Adam Alyon Shuhu Zair Anpin. So he sits on a throne. So it wants to say what? Zair Anpin sits on a throne, and just like Zair Anpin sits on a throne, I'm not sure exactly what he means. Sheyoshev Gam came al Kisei, so that's the case by Zair Anpin too. So Zair Anpin is actually a duplicate or similar acting. Commotion, as we said, V'atech Yamim Yosef, like we say like Atik Yamim, he sits on a throne, al Korsio. Maybe Zair Anpin who Kudugmas Zair Anpin Anikra Atik Yamim. So let's bring a proof over here that Zair Anpin is like that. Except because we have this pasuk that says Va'aro, and I have a word written on that, and I can't read it. Arov im anani shemayim. So what is my word? What does this word aro mean? I looked it up and I got it here, but I can't read it. Let me just. I think it affected. Affected. I don't know. I looked up the puzzle. Im anani shemaya. So I guess it means to go up to the clouds of heaven. Kabar enish. Asehava. Atik Yomim Mata. So I guess he says there's this Kabar Anish, like this vision of a man. Ase Hava, that's coming, that's what it has there. Atik Yomim Yumaya Vimata. So he says Atik Yomim also, because the Muhi Hakravuhi. And in front of that I came. So let me see, we got a Pirish, give me a little help here. Pirish Vihine Imanani Shemaya Baha Kadugmas Adam. So with the heavens comes along an image of a man. Who is this man? It's Zair Anpin. So v'ad ata yomim higia. So until this time, they have reached a certain amount of days. Well, the fun of this carve, and in 4 of it was coming. In other words, they had gone so far, and they're about to go some more. So what's it really talking about? Kigamo she'erik Anpin kolo as called partsufi atzilus. So within Zair Anpin, he is a koilel of all the partsufim of Atzilus, including Zachar V'Nok. He says the fish Zair Anpin mislavish b'so-called partsufi Atzilus. And that's the reason why, because he's panimi to every partsuf. Who gam Zair Anpin, but the same kind of thing is the same thing as Zair Anpin. But Zair Anpin is more of it's kitzoni to Zair Anpin. Shekolo as called partsufi atzilus, because in him all the partsufim atzilus pour into Zair Anpin too, because he's a lower down on the river, so to speak. Ki called partsufi atzilus mislavish besok Zair Anpin more, because all the partsufim also wind up inside of Zair Anpin. He says the alo v'nafku. And for these chachamim who are learning sod, Gam Yatzo Min Haliva B'Shlemos, they also came out. Did I skip something? Did I skip a page? Let me see what's happening here. Yeah, I skipped something here. Something went wrong here. Okay, we got through that, and here, now we're in another place. I'm sorry, we're on page Tov Kuf Ayin Vav. I skipped a page. It says, Ama Rabbi Shimon the chaverim. So Rabbi Shimon said to the chaverim, Ad kan stimon milin, Ad kan nisba'aro be'idra zu, divri sodos stumim. Now we've talked about all these hidden secrets. Ki av shahadavarim this parshu be'idra l'fnei chaverim, that even though it's been explained before these chaverim, because in the future they're going to be closed up. And so also be present in front of people that really not fit to get it. So now we've brought about reasons for many different inyanim. They are really clear and they are really true. So happy is the portion and understands it. Benimios of the Varim really could see what the inside is all about. Below and not make any mistakes with it. They said the meaning these words. So now he says the two words. He says Nizgala revealed, which I guess it means refined out. So it means that they're all kind of, all the chaff is off of them, they're bare words. The Khan Be'idri, he says, Lo is Yehiva the Marin. Lo Nimsro Allah the Hamim Ma'oiski B'chachmas Emes. So it's only given most people, out in an island when you're working this, because most people don't know it's there, because it's Emes, it's a sod, it's a secret. And the crime Chachim Shebachachomim. Remember, we saw that word before. Because a person that's working on Nigla, Nikra Chacham v'ha'osid b'chachmas ha'emes Nikra Chacham sheb'chachamim and b'chatz decha chakla. So let's talk about the clearing out of the thorns, so to speak. So those chachamim have been cutting down and removing the thorns. Hamazikim, that is really, he says, it's a kosim hamazikim min asada hakodesh. So in other words, those things which attack and hurt the holy field, which is Malchus, usually Shihya Hashchina or Sazat Hakadush, which is the good Shchina. So in other words, things to make up a gam in the Shchina. Because by working on the Torah Sasod, as unique as a klipos, this really cuts off and it removes from the Shchina the sucking power of the klipos. Hanekroim Kotsim, who are called thorns. Okay, and here we go. The Allah of the Nefalku, the Chachamim shenikdisuch of the Churgu, the Chobelim, the sodos HaTorah. So those Talmidei Chachamim that are busy learning these sodos HaTorah. V'gam yatzach min aliba b'shleimus, and also they came out from the limud. In other words, they survived it. She'im miskashim b'kushi, because if they have a question, they can come up with an answer. They can know how to. They know how to answer it. And let's say even they don't know how to answer it. Harehem tolim as a chesara b'miyat hagazim, so that they have not reached the place that they need. The limitations of what they have achieved. They haven't got there yet. But they don't start arguing with it and say there's something wrong about it or it's not good. Okay, now it seems like we're in a different place, and this is called the Histalchus of the Gimel Chaverim. So, huh? Oh, I didn't finish. Yashikoyach. He said, "Ki Yesharim Darkei Hashem," because they're straight. But Tzadikim Yelchu Bam, and so he wants to say, "What's this? What's the pirush?" Ki Darkei Hashem b'sodos HaTorah. So the path of Hashem, those who want to go into the sodos HaTorah, Yesharim Heim. So it could be straight paths. But Tzadikim Yelchu Bam. So righteous people, they walk on these paths. below Timihus over Pikpukim, so they're never pakpek and they're not that many questions and they can't see it and they can't get it together. Poshim Mikaslaba, but people that get involved with it, Pirish Poshim She'enim Toilim as a Chisarim B'Mihud Hasagazim. In other words, the Poshim are the people who don't say, well, it's a Chisarim in me as the learner that I'm just not good enough, I got to keep going. But these people who instead are mepakpek about this, and so he says it's a concern, you have to really realize what you don't understand is because of your limitations. As a concern with me at the sagazim, yakash. If you don't do that, and you try to get it and make it feel like it's, you got something here, it doesn't work. Let's go down to now this histalkus of the Gimel HaChaverim. This is the death of 3 of the Chaverim. So it's and as you see that we're getting very close to the end of this volume. It says Tana Lamadno, so we learn. Let me get back to this. Sorry. Ki la'achashin istalku min ha'olam shlosha chaverim b'gemar gilu sodos Idra Rabbah shemuvel alon. So now we're going to start talking about the death at the end of the Idra of 3 of the chaverim. Rabbi Shimon, al Patiris chaverim, he began to cry because of their death. So he said, V'adam kale v'amar v'herim kolo. So he says, I read it wrong. V'arim kale v'amar. So then the voice came out. And then he says it's an echo. V'herim kolo v'amar, or he lifted up his voice. I'm sorry. Ki yesh l'havim laman d'stakol chaverim, because we have to understand, why did these people die? Why did our chaverim die? Even meaning in the lawn, as you understand, is Gal Yehocha is Genizer Chavrech of Beida the Alma the Oziv is Talako Mahai Alma. Let's read this in translation. It says she mishum. If it's because of the diver of the sodos, shenis galo kan beidra. So this is what you worry about. As if you're learning of this, this is what Rabbi Shimon is concerned. Nistalko the Beirim and the Olam is because of the secret, but Nigda Ba'olam Haba, and then they became hidden in the next world. So there's a special place for those who chaverim of the Idra in heaven, and these 3 left and went there. So this is really something beautiful. Begin to look Alma, because it's not revealed to anybody else. I'm not sure what that means yet. Azai tov v'yavach Shechayid is gala beidra sodos shalom is gala olam olam hu. So because what we're hearing here is something that nobody in the world ever heard. Ba'olam hazeh. I'm sorry, I can't read it so good. I'll call upon him, and in any case, nimse shechaverim chaladun nistalku v'shim gilui sodos ne'olamim ke'ela ba'olam. Below b'shum shechaverim b'lecha b'choy ruim chas v'sholom she'ez gala d'chem. So there's a Torah. So the possibilities are, I guess he's saying. Read the top line again. But I'll call upon him, and they left the world because of the Gilui of the sodos that were here, and not because of some flaw in them. V'shalom, Gash v'shalom, she is galo v'chem sodos Torah. But Rabbi Shimon, the tzaddik, olav as a din. Rabbi Shimon, hadar v'amar. Let me get back on track here, sir. Choser Rabbi Shimon v'amar. So he comes back and says like this: Hadri bi haneni choser midivari ki ha'emes hi she'ein shum chet begilui sodos ha'elu. So Rabbi Shimon, I guess what I was trying to get to here through there is we're going through the possibilities of what's going on, and it sounds like there's some kind of chet in revealing the sodos, and this is the threat that he's working with. Now he comes over here and he says, he came back, so he says, that's what I thought. That's what I was worried about. The ha gali kamei, the hatika, the kadisha steamed, the cola steaming, so but it's been revealed to me, share galoi lefanai. So it's not revealed, and now it is revealed before me. Let me see, galoi giloi lefanai Zair Anpin, hanikra atek daltiki. So he says, Zair Anpin came before me, who saw and clothed in all different kinds of clothing. The kari the vidna, below the kari the base abba, below the car the chavraikim ilum. Ki hasodas ha'elu galisi. So these secrets that I'm revealing, that I have revealed. Lo l'kvodi, not for my kavod, v'lo l'kavod beis avi, or not for my father's name. V'lo l'kavod elu ha'chaverim, and not covered for you either. Ella begin the lo b'orchoi. Ella be'gilisi hasodas ha'chaverim, kadesh ha'chaverim lo yatochu b'darke hasodas v'hasagasam. So if you know the sodos, then you won't make mistakes. Paltroi. Let's say shalo yakanzel beboshas panim. They should not enter into the shari ha'hechole shel hakodesh baruch Hu. That when they're going into the higher levels, that they shouldn't be embarrassed in that place. V'lo yimchu b'deicha v'lo v'yimchu v'yakvachu ba'adam, and not protest and hold them back for their own sake. B'shari ha'hechel. V'im came b'vadai lo mesach ha'chaverim elu b'misa shel onish. Well, I'm really going a long way without translating it. V'lo yimchu b'dehum. So nobody protests, nobody held them back. V'lo yimchu, that is, if you have this information. V'yakev ba'adam Amerikanis are holding back the alhos b'shari hechel into the different gates of the palace. V'im came b'vadai lo mesach ha'chaverim elu b'bisas shel onish. So therefore we see that they didn't die because they were being punished. Ela b'misa shel neshika, but rather they died with a kiss. But l'chein zakol chulaki im b'chol na'amad da'asi. Ashrei chelki has my portion in the olam haba, in the next world when we get past this physical world, because they have a tremendous amount of reward. And I will be with them. I'll be there in one compartment, olam haba, and we'll be in the same shechah Adam Alyon, the miyulah the chaverim Idra, that is a special place that is designated for the chaverim of the Idra. Let's go on. He says, Tana Lamando, so we learn like this. Adlo not the faku chaverim mahachu Idra, before the chaverim left that Idra. Ki tenem yatzach chaverim b'makom Idra, before they left. Miso, that's when they died. I was going over the story now. Meso shlosha min chaverim shehem, Rabbi Yosef b'Rebbe Yaakov. He said Rabbi Chizkiah, and the last one was Rabbi Yosef. And the chaverim saw them taken. So he said, what? Who took them? Malachim Kadishim. So he saw over there that they lifted up the souls of these people. Bahaku Parsa. Where did they take it? We saw in the last Idra that there is a Parsa that was spread over their heads. The Niskashro Nishmosechem, and they were tied, their neshamas were tied together, Ba'oza Masach, Shel Orsh, Hoya Poros, Alachaverim Kachupa. So there was this screen of light that was over them, and they saw the Malachim take their neshamas and bring them up to that place. In which each one of the words of the chaverim said, that the words came out, and that's what he said. He says they were all, and the words themselves, they carved themselves in to that pargod, to that masach, as we learned previously. Rabbi Shimon Melas, so Rabbi Shimon said this. He said, "V'az hisker Rabbi Shimon Ezer Shem Kadosh." So he remembers this holy name. What holy name? Vishtakachu, v'chaverim nishtakhu v'nishkato. And when he started to say that, everybody around him became quiet. Tzavach v'omer. So he cried out and he said, "Shema chas v'sholem gezerah is gezecha kolona deis ansha." Ulai nachol nadavar kamosha al b'datein. So remember what we saw in the beginning, we were thinking that came to our thought, b'dachila, she mises shlosha chaverim he gezerah. Maybe it came from up above. She nigzer aleinu chas v'sholem the hanonish, that we are going to be punished because we revealed basically these thoughts. The iskale al yadan the rabban the iska the rabisoda the koyim Moshe al tur the Sinai. The Fishin is Gala of Yadena because it revealed through us, sodos Torah, the different secrets of the Torah. Mashalo Nizgala Ba'olam Miyom Sha'amad Moshe Rabbeinu B'Char Sinai. So nothing, these secrets for the time of Moshe Rabbeinu at that moment, no secrets like this have ever been revealed before. The Kabul as Haluchos Ashniyos, that was when he came the second time to get the Luchos. The Chsiv Sha'az Ne'emach of Moshe Rabbeinu, because it says that he Sham Im Hashem Arbaim Yom V'Arbaim Laila, he was with Yud Kei Vav Kei. But the Madrega Zucha B'Shecha B'Moshe Rabbeinu Zacha Rabbi Shimon B'Gilu Sodos Idra. So that same level, and the second time that Moshe got the Luchos, it was with Hashem for 40 days, Rabbi Shimon reached that level too. The Idra K'Hambal Da'el, as we said, V'V'V'Sayim Rabbi Shimon, as the Varas of Rabbi Shimon concludes what he said, V'Amar. Ma ana hacha, what am I doing here? What does that mean? I benin do is anshu. Ma chashivos kan. So what, in other words, what do we accomplish over here? What we have accomplished here? Ima chaverim shemesu na'anshu al gilu, so that they were punished because we revealed these secrets. Shema kola. So then he heard a voice. Shema Rabbi Shimon Bas Kol, he heard an echo. That's the echo I was talking about. Rabbi Shimon, so you are really meritorious, Rabbi Shimon. Ashrecha, half years your post, Rabbi Shimon. She'ain b'kol shum chet, you have no chet at all, chat v'sholem. Machbas gilu esodah, because of gilu esodas. Zchol chulokoch and v'chavrecha v'ilin d'kaima b'hadoch. V'ashrei chelkam v'chelik chaverim, and half is their portion, the portion of the chaverim. He said, anim sochim itoch b'gilu esodas ela, they're found with you here in these gilu esodas. So it was revealed to them, what was not revealed to any of the host of heaven. Let's see, I can't read it. So it was revealed to them, to you, what they never saw. So Idra Rabbah, excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it different ways, and I am having a little trouble seeing the words. Sorry, I'm sorry. So he says, I'm gonna read it from my screen. So it says, "V'nimsa Idra Rabbah begilui sodos Idra, all of Rabbi Shimon, the Malach Rabbi Yosef Yonah, because of these the revelation of these, your Rabbi Shimon went to a higher level. But he took the chaverim along with it. They also went up. Because they're really all tied together, because they're really off in the root of Rabbi Shimon. So since that's the case, but the reason why they died is not because they were punished, because of the Gilu Sodos. Elatam acher yesh bedaver. Okay, so we'll get to that the next time, and I'm a little off schedule today, and so God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, call tough.